Hi everyone, and welcome to my live creative time this week. My name's Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Welcome! It's great to have you join us today, whether or not you are joining through Facebook Live, or if you're watching the replay, or perhaps you're watching on YouTube later on when I upload this. Thank you so much for being with us. It's great to have you watching with us. Alrighty, so while everyone is jumping on and finding their notifications that I'm going live, I'm going to bring this up on my iPad. So just give me a moment and I'll bring this up. Okay, we will log in, get everything happening, make sure my volume is all the way down because you don't need to hear me in stereo. Okay, let's just bring this up. As you're jumping on, say hi, let me know that you're here. Awesome. Okay, so I've got my iPad running. I've got my laptop running as well, but it's sort of over there at the moment. I haven't put it on the desk today, so I thought we'd see how we go with the iPad first today. And if it's not keeping up with all the comments, then I'll bring over my computer. Alrighty, let's see who we've got on with us today. Maswari's here. Hi, how are you? Great to have you with us. So fantastic. How are you today? Jenny's here as well. Hi Jenny, how you going? How's the weather down in Tassie today? We've got a lovely sunny day here today. It's beautiful temperature. It's high 20s I think it is today. That's the weather report for the day from Sydney, from Western Sydney, because actually in the city the temperature is completely different. I am, thank you Maswari. Yes, I'm doing well, thank you. I had physio this morning for my back and she's very happy with my progress, so that's good. It is healing and I'm getting around a lot better, so that's good. Still a little way to go, but that's okay. We're getting things done. Carol's here. Carol Tapper. Hi Carol, lovely to have you with us. Is it your first time with us today, Carol? Or have you been watching in the wings previously? I'm thinking it's the first time I've seen your name, but maybe I'm not remembering correctly. But it's lovely to have you with us. And Tina Marie made it. Hey, great to have you here. She messaged me this morning saying that she wasn't sure if she was going to get here, but she made it. So fantastic. Yeah, so great. So what did everybody get up to on the weekend? Did you have a lovely weekend? Let me know what you got up to. Did you get outdoors in the beautiful weather? Did you get any crafting in there? We had on Saturday, you've been watching in the wings, Carol. Oh, thank you so much for saying hello. It's lovely to see you and have you with us today. Yeah, so on Saturday we had our team gathering. So every month I run a team gathering for my team, our beautiful crafting community. And we get together and I do some recognitions because I love to give my team a shout out, whoop whoop, and celebrate them for their wonderful achievements in the month. And usually we look at the previous month. And oh, hi Nola, how you going? Oh, you can't stay. That's okay, Nola. You can always come back and watch the replay later. No worries. Tina Marie said she's staying at her son's at the moment and she's really missing her card making. Oh, yes, you're very busy with the puppies at the moment, aren't you? You probably wouldn't even have time for crafting, even if you had have taken one of your kits or something over. You're so busy with all the puppies. That's all right. It'll be there waiting for you when you get back, Tina Marie. So yes, Saturday, our team gathering. Every month we get together. So I do some recognitions. We welcome new team members. We celebrate any anniversaries, or as we call them, Stampiversaries. And then I update all of my team on the latest Stampin' Up! News and what's coming up. And then I usually do a little bit of give them a little bit of information, sort of like mini training, but not really training. It's not intense, but just basically showing them how to do things, showing them around the demonstrator website, because we have our own special website with lots and lots of cool things on there. And sometimes it's hard to find things because there's so much information there. So I like to help them and show them where to find things, and tell them about different things. And then after we do all of that, we draw a winner, because every month we have a creative challenge for those that want to participate, and I usually have a different theme every month. And it's super fun, and so many beautiful projects get entered into our monthly creative challenge. And then at the end of the month, I draw a winner, and then that winner gets a prize from me. And some of my other team, they get gift vouchers and things like that for recognizing different things that they've done throughout the month. And then after all of that, we have some creative time together as a team, and it was super fun. And we had one of our beautiful team members, Di, come along and show us how to make one of these. Has anybody made an infinity card before? Let me know in the comments if you have, or if you would like to learn how to make one. Now, I hadn't made one before. Whoops, I'm holding it the wrong way. I hadn't made one before, so it was my first time making one. And I thought, oh my goodness, it looks so complicated, but it's actually really easy to put together. The hardest part is deciding where you're going to what decorations you're going to put on there, how you're going to embellish everything. Now you have to keep everything really flat because it all folds, and I'll show you how that works in a moment. But yeah, so this is the one I created. You might have seen me post it. I posted it really late last night. I made a little video of it, and then I posted up. Well, actually, I think I shared the photos with my team, but I don't think I shared the photos yet on my business page. Did I? Or didn't I? Did I just share the video? I'll just scroll back and have a look. Hang on a sec. Ah, no, I showed an in progress photo. That's right, but I haven't shown all the pages, all the page photos. So let me show you. All right, so this is my first page, and I used the Pansy Petal Suite. So I thought this is a great way of using up all of your beautiful designer series paper. So I chose the Pansy Petals designer series paper. I hope I'm saying that right, because I keep calling it Pansy Patch, but I think it's Pansy Petals. I don't know where I get Pansy Patch from. Anyway, that's the suite I was using. I wanted to use that beautiful designer series paper because it's retiring. It's going to be gone soon. Now, this isn't the project that we're doing today, but I wanted to show you because I wanted to know if you would like to know how to make one of these, because I might show you how to make one of these in another Facebook Live, but not today because I wasn't that organized today, although I am organized for what we are making. So this is page 1. And then now let me see, I'm doing this back to front because I'm behind it. So let me see if I get this right. Then it opens this way. Whoops, hang on a minute. Don't go to the next page yet. Opens this way. Hang on, I'm going to move this way. There we go. So I did a bit of stamping here and then highlighted some of the designer series paper. And you might not be able to tell on camera with the lights, but I wink of stellaed some of the flowers on the DSP. Then after there, we go to this page. This is my page 3. So, I'm holding, it's hard to hold when you're holding it up in the air like this. So that's my page 3. And then my last page is this one. And then that's where I put my little greeting just to do my to and from with my little message there, which is really beautiful. Which, can you read that? Wishing you a little extra happiness just because you're you. And this is going to be for my mother-in-law for Mother's Day. So shh, don't tell her. She doesn't watch my Facebook Live, so she won't see this. And then you go back to the beginning. And then you start again. And then it just keeps going. So it's called an infinity card or a never-ending card. Sorry, I'm looking over here because I'm watching that I'm doing it the right way. Isn't it beautiful? So they're really easy to put together. But as I said, I spent hours just deciding which papers and which elements I was going to use to decorate it. But actually putting the base part together was really quick. So yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you. So that's what we did on Saturday. We had a really fun creative time. And oh, thank you, Carol, you like it? Oh, thank you. Yeah, so Di taught us how to make that, which was really easy. yeah, I just labored over I wanted it to be perfect for my mother-in-law, so I just labored over the embellishing. But you can make it as quick and easy and simple as you like. But yeah, if you would like to learn how to make one, if you've never made one before, let me know, and we might do one in a week or two. But we do have some new product coming up soon too, which I want to show you as well. So we'll fit it in there somewhere. Maybe we can use some of the new product to make one. That's an idea. Hey Glenda, how are you? Great to have you with us. All right, so let me tell you a few things. Now, before I forget, Amber wrote me a sticky note so that I wouldn't forget to tell you. So I always forget. But I have got my Hello Ladybug class coming up very soon. Now it is going to be on, let me get the date right, 23rd of April, but the RSVP or registration date closes tomorrow. So have a look for that. I've already posted that, and you can find that in the events here in my business page. If you have trouble finding it, feel free to flick me a message, or otherwise I will be posting it again as well. But if you would like to come along to that, it's an online pre-recorded class, so you can do that at your own leisure. We'll be making 6 cards, so we have 3 designs and you make 2 of each of those cards. I give you a full video tutorial, step you through it all, show you how to make them, and then you've got the video basically for life, and then you can take your time to create them whenever you like. You can do them all in one sitting, you can do them one at a time, whatever you like, but you would have that video there. So all the details are in the event section for my Hello Ladybug card making class, so check that out. Glenda said, stunning card, would love to see how you made it. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Glenda. You're the 3rd person now that has told me in the last couple of days that they would like to know how to make that. So I think we're going to have to do one on a Facebook Live very soon. I won't commit to which week though, because we've got some new product coming up soon, which I'll also be showing you. So, but I will put it on my list of things to do in the next few weeks. So watch out for that, and I'll show you how to make one. And yes, so look out for my class. As I said, RSVPs close tomorrow, Tuesday, the 5th of April. So look out for that one. It's a really, really cute class. These ladybug projects that I've designed are absolutely gorgeous. I love them. So yeah, so look out for that class. Alrighty. Now, as you will probably already know, we have our last chance product sales, and I've got a list here, and you'll probably have seen this. The best thing to do though, to grab any of these products, these last chance products that are on special and that are retiring very soon, is to go to the online store and check them out there, because it's getting updated all the time and it's hard to keep up. I'm trying to keep up to date with it on my list, but even I just looked before I went live today, and I looked late last night, like midnight last night, and it had changed again. And so I've got to sit down today and then go through my list again and make sure I've got everything crossed out that's now not available. But go to my online store and take a look, because all of the products that are retiring from the current annual catalogue, so that's this one, the products that are retiring from this catalogue are now only available while supplies last, because once they sell out, that's it, they're gone for good, they won't be coming back. So go there and check that out. Now we're going to be using some today, and that's why I checked before I went live, because I checked last night before I made a final decision about the project, and then I checked again before I went live, and lo and behold, they're on low inventory. So if you love what I'm creating today and you want these products, you'll have to jump on and grab them, I reckon, today. Otherwise you might miss out, because they're going to be gone very soon. There's not many left because they're already on low inventory. So you can get to my online store by going to my blog, Mandy's Papercraft Creations .blogspot.com, or you can go to my website, which is mandywitherby.stampinup.net, and you just click on the shop button. Both of them, there's a shop button up the top. It's the first button on the left hand side, and that'll take you through to my online store. If you're shopping with me, be sure to use my host code as well, and any orders over $50, you'll receive a thank you card and a gift from me. So there's my April 2022 host code. Can you believe we're in April already? Oh my goodness, where is the time going? I feel like I said this just recently about March as well. We were already in March and now we're already in April. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So anyway, lots of great specials in the last chance product sales. There some products up to 50% off, which is amazing. So check that out in the online store. Even if you want to go and just have a look and have a browse. You don't have to buy anything. Just go and take a look because I would hate for you to miss out. Okay, now the other thing, since I saw you last and you probably saw my photos and I had a little video, I've got the brand new annual catalogue in my hot little hands. So this is the 2022 to 2023 annual catalogue that's coming out, and look at my wish list. Oh my goodness, so many tabs. Now I haven't put all my side tabs on that I normally do yet because I'm going to take this one and get this bound like I did with my old one. Whoops. There we go. I like to get it spiral bound, and I get a plastic cover put on the front and one on the back because I'm using mine basically every single day and flipping through it. So yeah, it protects it from getting dog-eared. So I haven't done that yet. But oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. Look at this one on the front. And I can only show you the front cover at the moment. I can't show you the inside until it goes live. And it's going to go live on the 3rd of May. Now, if you are a customer of mine and you've, losing my words, if you've shopped with me in the last 6 months, I have already ordered a copy for you. And I'm having that sent to you direct from Stampin' Up. If you're unsure, feel free to get in contact with me. I do also have a link where you can you can request a catalogue. Let me just grab that for you actually, and I'll pop it here in the comments so that, let me see, where is it? I don't have a link for it because I'm on my iPad, but I do have it here somewhere. Where did I put it now? It's not at the top. It's not in my, is it? Am I looking past it? Maybe I'm looking past it. There's so many things here. No, I'll have to find it. It's here somewhere. I'll pop up the link for requesting a catalogue if you would like to request a catalogue from me. Oh, hey Rose, how you going? Great to have you with us. Yes, it's here somewhere, but I think I'm looking past it. No. Oh, here we go. Google, that's right. Because I put it under Google Forms, didn't I? I didn't put it under Request a Catalogue. So, of course I put it under Google Forms. That's going to make it harder for me to find, isn't it? All right. I'll just bring this back up. And here we go. I'm going to pop that down. Request a catalogue. Now, if you already have, okay, sorry, it takes so much longer to do that on the iPad than on the computer. I've just popped that down in the comments. If you already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you are working with, please ask them for a copy of the catalogue. Just to be fair to them and to be fair to me as well, because they do cost money for me to post them out, and the postage on them is quite high actually because of their weight and their size. So yes, but if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, then I would love to look after you. So please feel free to get in contact with me. You can click on that link to request a catalogue, and when I get my box of catalogues, which I've already ordered and they're on their way, I'll be able to send one out to you, and I would love to look after you as my customer. So if you have any questions or you need any help with products or anything, please feel free to get in contact with me. In my business page here, up the top of the business page, there's a message button. You can click on that and you can send me a Facebook message through there as well. But there's also contact details if you want to give me a phone call, or if you want to send me a text message. I don't always answer my phone, so if I don't answer, feel free just to leave me a voice message and I'll get back to you, just because I'm often filming or I'm working and I can't get to my phone, or I'm in meetings and things like that. So if I don't answer my phone, if you're trying to call me, please don't think that I'm ignoring you. I will get back to you, but you need to just leave me a message. Okay, so that is all the exciting things, but how beautiful is this catalogue? Oh, I can't wait until we get all the new products. I'm so excited. Alrighty, so and we still have our mini catalogue running as well. That's going to run until the end of June, so don't forget about the mini catalogue because there's lots of beautiful products in there as well. And then they will start retiring in, or next month actually, May. They'll start retiring next month, so watch out for those as well. Okay, Rose said, I'm not sure if I need to request one or not. No, Rose, I've already ordered yours for you and it'll be on its way to you very soon. So all good, because you are one of my regular customers, so you already get one automatically from me. So all good. Oh, Kathleen's here too. Hi, Kathleen, how you going? I didn't see you jump on. Sorry, I was too busy talking. How are you today? Hey Megan, how you going? Are you going to catch the replay? No worries. We'll see you later. All right. Okay, great. Well, let me tell you what we're playing with today. As I said, we're playing with some retiring products. Now, the stamp set and the dies that we're playing with today have gone on low inventory today. The designer series paper is still available, not yet on low inventory. But let me turn the camera down and I will show you what we're going to play with. And then wait till the end because I've got some more samples to show you after we've created our card today. Now, I posted up today instructions or measurements and products that you would need if you wanted to craft along with me today. Did anybody see that? Did anybody gather their products? Are you crafting along with me today? You're doing my project? Or are you doing your own project? And if you're doing your own project, that's fine. And if you're just watching, if you're just sitting back relaxing, hopefully you've got a cuppa or something, a little snack, then that's fine too. No worries. But let me know if you were crafting along with this project with me. Oh, you're welcome, Rose. You're very welcome. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover up the camera and I'm going to tip it down onto my desktop. So just bear with me for a moment while I get the camera all set up for you. So here we go. I cover up the camera so that I don't make you dizzy while I do a flippity flip. And, oh, did that one just flip? I'm not sure if that one flipped. I think it did. We'll see when we tip the camera down. Here we go. All right, so I'll just get this adjusted. Okay, I'll tighten everything back up so we don't have a camera falling down. Straighten this up, hopefully. Okay, we'll take that off and we'll see how we did. I'm just going to adjust my lights while my iPad is catching up. There we go. And are we up the right way? Let's see. Did I flip that one? I couldn't remember if I tapped it or not. I'm just waiting for my iPad to catch up. It's a little bit laggy. Oh yeah, there we go. Great. Straighten this one up a tad. And I think we should be all good. All right, so there is my blog. So if you would like some creative inspiration on top of what I share with you on Mondays, feel free to go through to my blog. Because on my blog every week I put a blog post of projects, and there might be ones there that you haven't seen. There's old ones there as well that you can go back and look at. I usually link the video there as well. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat now. And also to there, you can click a button there to subscribe to my weekly newsletter. So if you would like to be kept up to date with all the latest Stampin' Up! News, my upcoming classes, sales and specials, and all sorts of things like that, then you can click on subscribe to my newsletter. And then each week you'll get a newsletter. Well, most weeks. Occasionally I miss it if I'm flat chat or if I'm not well. And then you'll get to stay up to date with all the Stampin' Up! News. You'll find that on my blog. There's also on my blog a PDF copy of the current catalogues. Now the new one's not up there yet. Oh, that camera is still not straight. The new one is not up there yet because it doesn't go live until the 3rd of May. But once that goes live, I'll put that one on my blog as well. So if you don't have a paper copy or you want to just access the PDF copy, you'll be able to do that there on my blog. All right, there we go. Let's move this down just a tad more. Okay, I've got a little bit of a different setup today, I think. There we go. Okay, great. So let me show you what we are playing with today. We're going to be playing with the very fun, very beautiful Sweet as a Peach bundle. So we have got the Sweet as a Peach photopolymer stamp set and the peach dies. Now here's the dies here. Let me take them out of the packet because we are going to be using them today. And I have got all of the information about these for you today. Now, I'm not sure if Amber is on. Oh, you're just watching today, Rose, so that you don't miss anything. That's fine, no worries. Well, you feel free just to, if you would like to make this project later, feel free to make it later because I'm going to give you all the dimensions and I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, so the stamp set and the dies are both on special. Oh, sorry, the stamp set is on special. Hang on, let me get my notes and I'll go through them one by one. The stamp set is 40% off at the moment. Currently, it's only $18.60 for the stamp set. And you've got 20 stamps in this stamp set. Plus, you've got peachy related ones that relate to the imagery. But you've also got happy birthday, thanks, it's your day, let's celebrate you, and things like that. Friend, hello. So you've got sentiments for lots of different things. They're not just relating to the little peaches. You can also, I've also seen people turn the little peaches into cherries, apricots, all different sorts of things. So depending on how you color them, you can turn them into other fruits as well. And then you've got these cute little flowers as well. Thank you so much. Amber is popping this up now. Amber, the code for the Sweet as a Peach stamp set, if I give that to you, would you pop that in the comments for me, please? The code is 155050. That's for the Sweet as a Peach stamp set. It's $18.60. Now the peach dies, these are on low inventory and the code for the peach dies is 155829 and they are $40. They're not reduced. However, if you purchase these two products but you put them in your cart as individual items, you'll end up saving yourself money rather than putting in the bundle code, because if you put the bundle code in, it'll actually just charge the original bundle price. Okay, so just keep that in mind with any of the retiring products. Check the individual prices first, add them together, and then see if that matches or is less than the bundle price. Often it'll be less than the bundle price. Thanks, Amber. And there you go. Amber's popped the code. The code for the Sweet as a Peach stamps dies. And could you pop the code in there as well for the Sweet as a Peach stamp set too, Amber, please? You've just got the price there. The stamp set is 155050. I should have given these to you before we went live, actually. So there you go. So yeah, so if you pop those two codes in separately, then you'll get them at a cheaper price than if you just pop in the bundle code, because the bundle itself isn't reduced, but the individual, well, the stamp set is reduced. Now, on top of that as well, hopefully that makes sense. If I've confused you, feel free to ask me any questions. And if you have any additional product questions, oh, you edited the comment to show the code. Okay, thanks, Amber. And then we've got the beautiful designer series paper as well. Now, I have chopped into mine, and I had a class on this with this suite last year as well. So this is all I've got left. I've got bits and pieces left. So I thought, you know what? I've actually got 2 full pieces of the floral one. I need to use that up as well. But it's beautiful, beautiful paper. And this is what we're going to be playing with today. But they're all double-sided, as you'll see. And as I said, this isn't a full pack. but you can kind of get the idea of how beautiful the paper is. Now the paper is reduced as well. The You're Peach Designer Series paper, the code is 155686. That's 155686, and it is 40% off as well. It's only $12. $12 for 12 by 12 paper, and you get a total of, I think it's 12 sheets. Yep, 12 sheets. So you get 2 each of 6 double-sided designs for $12. $12 flat. So that's an awesome price for a pack of Designer Series paper. So if you love this paper, grab it. It's not on low inventory yet, but it might be by this afternoon. Who knows? Alrighty, what else have we got? We've got, so they're the ones that we're using. Oh, we're also going to be using today the Pau Papaya. Now let me remember what this is called. The Pau Papaya woven ribbon. It's 1/2 inch, and the code for this one is 155816. So I'm calling these out so Amber can put them in. I'm making her work hard today. What did I say? Sorry. 155816. And this ribbon is also 40% off, and now it's only $7.35 for 10 yards or 9.1 meters, which is amazing. And this ribbon is so beautiful. It's so soft and it's really pretty. It's a lovely color, that Pale Papaya. So we're going to be using some of that today as well. So grab some of those. Now the other thing we're using that is also reduced, and these are reduced by 50%, are the Sequins for Everything. Amber and I love these, and we've been using these a lot for our classes because you get so many in the packet. You get a total of 3,600 sequins in the packet, and you'll be surprised when you go to use them with the different colors. It looks like they're just red, green, orange, and gold and white, but you've actually got so many different gradients of each of those colors in there. And you've actually got in this one, you've got white, silver, and gold, and they're different shapes. Some are faceted. You've got hexagon ones, which we're going to use today, which are the silver ones. You've got circles that are round. Here you've got your oranges and your, so it's sort of like your melon mambo, your oranges and yellows, that's what I was going to say. So you've got your bright oranges in there, like your pumpkin pie. You've got some opaque ones that are a little bit lighter as well. So if you put them on white, that'll even make them more light. And you've got some faceted ones. Then you've got some greens. So you've got some darker greens, and you've got some light, soft seafoam greens. And in here, you've got your pinks and your reds. So these are fantastic. Now they're great for shaker cards as well. We use them actually just for embellishing. And now look, I've got them all stuck to me. They do get a little bit staticky, and I find picking them up with my Take Your Pick tool out of the packet and placing them using the putty end of the Take Your Pick tool is the best way to use those. I'll show you when we get to that, if I can get that one off my finger. There we go. So these are now only $7.35 for 3,600 sequins. So they are a great one to have in your product stash as well. Oh, sorry, these ones are, no, sorry, these ones are $10.50. I was looking at the wrong one. So these are the Sequins for Everything, 50% off. The code is 153556, and they're $10.50. So hopefully Amber got that. 153556, Sequins for Everything, $10.50. There you go. So we're going to be using some of those. They're beautiful. The other thing we're going to be using today is the Scalloped Contour Dies, but these ones are carrying over into the new annual catalogue. So you don't need to rush on these ones. They're still available. They're still going to be available. So we're going to be using some of these. Alrighty. I'm going to be using the double oval punch. This one's also carrying over, so you don't need to rush for this one. So that's all good. This one will be available in the new annual catalogue as well, thankfully, because I love this one. Great for sentiments. and then I'll show you the inks when we get to that point. All right, so let me show you what we're going to be making today. We are making something very special, actually, because this card that I'm sharing with you today is a card that was in one of my classes last year. So if you did this class, if you did my Sweet as a Peach class, this card will look very familiar to you. Now, I don't normally share my card classes on my Facebook Lives, but I thought, you know what, these products are retiring and they're almost gone. So I'm going to show everybody how beautiful this project is, because I would love for you to get a great deal on these products if it's something that you like. And also too, this is a great way to use our designer series paper. Now, so many of our current designer series papers are going to be retiring. All the ones in the current annual catalogue are going to be retiring. So I thought, well, this is a great one to use up some of that designer series paper. And who doesn't have a whole big stash of designer series paper in their craft room? Put your hand up. Yes, I can see all those hands going up. We all have lots and lots of designer series paper. Oh, hi, Danielle. How you going? Great to have you with us today. All right, so this is a fun fold card that we're going to be making today. It's called an Accordion Fun Fold Card. I first saw this card made by Patty Bennett some time ago. I think it was sometime last year, and could have even been the year before. But anyway, I made my own measurements because she had made hers in inches, so I designed mine in my own measurements. And so this is how it opens. Like so. Tina's putting her hand up. Yes, she's got lots of designer series paper. Oh, Danielle's in isolation till tomorrow. Oh no. Have you been sick with COVID, Danielle, or were you just in close contact with somebody? Oh, I hope you're feeling okay. So that's how our card opens. You can also decorate the opposite side as well if you want to. And the great thing about this one is it doesn't use very much designer series paper, because you're just basically using one piece. That's not an opening part of the card there. That's just a piece of cardstock. But this is your opening part here. So you get to use a whole, that's half a piece of designer series paper basically, or just under half a piece of designer series paper. So this is a great one for using up those all that beautiful paper. So I'm going to show you how to make that one today. And then at the end, I've got some additional samples to show you. So make sure you stick to the end. Alrighty, let me show you how to make this card. So I've pulled out my papers and I thought, you know what, I'm going to change it up today and I'm going to use some of the other paper in my paper pack. I still had some of the blue one left. I still have some of this one left, but I thought I'm going to change it up for you all today. So we'll have two different samples to look at the end, plus the additional ones that I've got to show you. All right, so the first thing is you will need a piece of designer series paper, whichever designer series paper you choose to use. You can do this with any type of paper or any designer series paper. Your designer series paper piece is going to be the full 12-inch across. So that is 30.5 centimeters the way across. And then you're going to cut it at 14.25 centimeters. Okay, so that's the first part. That's your starting point. Hang on, I'm going to put my infinity card over here so it doesn't get damaged or inky. I don't want it to get inky. All right, so basically what I've done is I've taken a piece of designer series paper, which is the full 12 inches. I've come over to my trimmer and I've measured at 14.25 centimeters. Okay, so it's halfway between 14.2 and halfway and 14.3. Okay, and then we cut that there and that gives us our big strip. Now what we need to do is we need to open up the extension arm of our trimmer and we're going to be doing some scoring. I'm going to show you how to score your paper. Okay, so we are going to score this at, now we're going to be starting on the left-hand side. Okay, starting with the left-hand side. Oops, let me bring this over a little bit. There we go. All right, our first score mark we are going to use. Now let's move our cutting blade away first. Before we do that, our dark coloured blade is our cutting blade. Let's move that out of the way to the bottom because we don't want to accidentally cut our paper. We're using our scoring blade, okay? So that's our light grey blade. Let's pop our paper back in. We're going to come across here to 4.6 centimetres. So 4.6 centimetres, and we're going to score there at 4.6. Okay, that's our first score mark. Then we're going to move our paper across to 12.6. You might like to write these down, or you can watch the replay. Okay, so 12.6, and we're going to score there. Then we're going to move across all the way up here on our extension arm to 20.6. 20.6, and we're going to score there. And that's as easy as it is. So just the 3 score marks: 4.6, 12.6, 20.6. Okay, and now we can put that away. So now we're going to bring in our trusty bone folder, and we're going to score on each of these score lines. So the first one, which was our smallest one, our 4.6, we're going to fold that left to right, like so. Okay, now our next score mark, which was the 12.6, we're going to fold back the other way. So we're folding it under. Okay, can you see how I did that? I tucked it under, like that. Okay. And we are going to burnish these with our bone folder. I think I'll just make sure I get them all straight first. And then our last one, which is actually going to be in line with this first one, our 20.6, we're going to fold it back the other way. So it's an accordion fold. Okay, so it's going to open like this. Okay, like an accordion. And then when you've got those all folded and all squared up and straight, then you can take your bone folder and run that along each of your folded lines to make those folds nice and crisp. There we go. Okay, so that forms the basis of our card. Super easy, hey? All right, so the next thing we need now is a card base. Our card base, now I pulled out a few colors that coordinate with this one because originally my original card had pale papaya as the base, and then I changed the paper. So then I thought, oh, pale papaya might be a little bit pale. So I also pulled out Calypso Coral and Pear Pizzazz. And I thought I will decide, I think I like this one or this one. I think this one is going to be too pale. Any of them would go probably because these colors are all in the paper. So any of them will go, but I think we lose that one a little bit. So I was thinking of either the Pear Pizzazz. Now your card base, it's just a card front piece. Okay, it's not a full card. It's just a card front piece. This is forming your very the very bottom part of your card, the base. This one is cut at 10.5 centimeters by 14.85 centimeters. Okay, so 10.5 by 14.85. And that forms your card base. So we can have that one, but then I think we've got a lot of green on green. So let's have a look at Calypso Coral. Oh, it pops off the Calypso Coral. Look at that. I like that. Yes, I think that's the one. That one looks gorgeous. All right, so that's the one I'm going to go with today. Then I've also got in here, so that's going to be our base. I'll show you how to put that together in a moment. Then I've also got some other coordinating colors to stamp our sentiment, and we're going to white emboss that. And then I've got a whole heap of white cardstock as well. One of them I already pre-cut because I needed to use my large machine for that one. It does just fit through the mini, but when I have a straight edge die like that, I like to put them through at an angle, and it just fit through the mini, so I couldn't put it at an angle, and I didn't want to cause that speed bump or have it catch in the rollers, so I ran this one through my large machine. But if you only have a mini, this one will actually fit through the mini, and I'll show you when we get to that point which size that is. So I just pulled out a whole heap of white scraps. Now this card is a great one to use up some of your scraps, so be sure to use up those. So I've just got some white to do my stamping on. and to cut some, what do you call them, layers as well. And then I've got some coordinating colors for my sentiment, depending on which color I decide to use. Okay, so they're basically the components that you'll need. And of course you need your inks and your stamp set and your dies, etc. All right, so let me show you how to put this base together. Basically, all we're going to do, we're going to flip this over to the wrong side. And I'm just going to open that up. And we're just going to put adhesive on here, or if that was closed, we're just going to put adhesive on this side here. And we're basically just sticking it to that piece of cardstock. That's it. That's as easy as it is. But I'm going to open that up. I'm going to grab my, actually I'm going to use my Seal Plus because I want this to be adhered really well. I don't want it to be coming off. Now you've got to be careful to only take the adhesive to that crease line though. You don't want to go over that crease line. There we go. All right, now the easiest way to do this is to fold that closed again. I just opened it up to put the adhesive on it so that it was nice and flat, but close that back up. And then you're basically just going to line it up with an even border. Hopefully I get this straight. And just adhere that to your base. It's really easy if you get it straight the first go. Sometimes I don't get it straight. So I'm just using my eye here. There we go. And then what you can do is you can open that up and then give that a really good push. And there is the basis for your card. Okay, so really easy. Okay. Hey Helen, how you going? Great to have you with us today. Oh, Danielle said yes, she's been sick with COVID. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Danielle. I hope you'll be better soon. Hey Sharon, I didn't know you were here. Great to have you with us. You love that paper? Yes, it's beautiful, isn't it? And it's retiring, of course, so it's going to be gone soon. Very sad, very sad. All right, so then what I did is I took the Scalloped Contour Dies. Ah, you snuck in, did you? Sneaky, sneaky. Well, it's lovely to have you with us. We're making an accordion fold card today. Super easy to make and very effective and a great card to use up our designer series paper. Hey Robin, how you going? Great to have you with us. All right, so I used the Scalloped Contours Dies. Now I used the second largest one for cutting this one just out of basic white. As I said, I went ahead and I did that earlier on my large machine because today, sitting here at the desk, I'm just going to use my mini machine. And this one was a bit of a snug fit. It will go through, but as I said, it was a snug fit and I didn't want to do that. So I just want to use my large machine for that one. So that's for the inside. And then for the outside, for this one here, we're going to be using this smaller scalloped rectangle, which we're going to die cut on our mini machine. And this one is the third largest one. So let's go ahead and do that now. So I'll bring in my mini. I'll put this one over to the side because that one's ready to go. Bring in my little mini. Did anybody grab a mini when they were on special at 20% off? Let me know if you did. They were on a great saving. Unfortunately, it finished at the end of March, just a few days ago. And but I know that there were quite a few people who were excited about that, about getting a mini at a great discounted price. Now let's see, I've got a few scraps. Oh, look, perfect. Look at that one. That fits perfectly on that scrap. So let's put that one in. I'm just going to put it at a slight angle to help it get through those rollers. There we go. Make sure, because that piece is quite close to the edge, I'm just going to put a little bit of washi there to hold that in place. And then we're going to stagger our plates a little bit on our mini machine. I want to stagger them back a little bit so that they feed through the machine well. Helps the rollers to grab onto the plates when you do that. There we go. I love the little mini. It's such a great little machine. There we go. And I'll just take my washi back off there. Oop. Okay, so there we've got my plates are getting a bit dirty. I need to replace that top plate. So there we've got our second little our second little layer there for the front. Alrighty, so we've got our 2 layers done. Now I'll show you how to attach those 2, and then we can do some decorating. Okay, so I'll pop this to the side. I'm going to leave this handy because we're going to be doing a little bit more die cutting after we've done our stamping. Okay, we'll pop this one away. Alrighty, so we've got our 2 labels here, and these are just to break up the designer series paper. Oh, I actually had a 3rd one inside. That's right, I forgot about that little one. Hang on, we need another small one. Forgot about that one. If you wanted to, you could actually put another one here as well. So you could have one on each panel, but I chose to leave that one blank just so you could see all that beautiful paper. But you could add another one there if you wanted to as well. So let's bring that mini back in, and I'll cut one more of those small ones. Forgot about that little one. Come back here, little mini. Now I'm just going to cut down this cardstock a little bit so that I don't run the whole thing through, because it'll get marked from my plates. And then I'll save that little offcut for some of my stamping. Okay, so we'll do that again. Okay, is anyone crafting along with me today? Let me know if you are. Hey Julie, how you going? Great to have you with us today. I actually, I nearly was going to drop into your place today, Julie, because I drove myself today for the very first time since before Christmas to the physio today. But it was my first time driving that far, and I wasn't sure how I was going to go, so I didn't pick up your things to take with me because I didn't know if I'd be in a fit state to actually be able to stop in. So I'm sorry that I wasn't able to do that. But as it turned out, I probably would have been okay, but I was a bit hesitant because I hadn't driven for so long, so I wasn't sure how I was going to, how my back was going to be in the car. But it turned out to be good. But yes, I was thinking of you this morning when I was driving past your street. All right, so now we've got our large piece and our 2 smaller pieces. So let's pop these in. So basically what we want to do is we want to put this in the center on our back panel, or our very base panel. Okay, so I'm going to, now the thing is too, if you want to stamp on this first, you would want, if you want to do any stamping of greeting or anything like that, you'd want to do that probably before you stick it in, just in case you have any stamping boo-boos or anything like that. What I did with mine, because it was only a small section, and I usually like to write a lot on my cards, because you know I talk a lot, and and so I like to write a lot too. So what I actually did is I just decorated it up with a little bit of designer series paper and a bit of bling, and then just left the rest of the space blank to write on. Okay, so you can do that, or you can stamp on it, but yeah, just stamp on it first before you stick it in if you're going to do that. All right, I'll just use a little bit of my seal, my Stampin' seal, to stick that in, and we're just sticking this flat because it is a fancy fold card. We don't want any dimension on the inside, otherwise it won't close properly. Sorry, now I've got adhesive all over my fingers. Is that going to come off? Yeah. All right, so we're just going to pop this down in the center there. Now, we're looking for the center of where the fold is. Oh, good, had to take Jake to the doctor, so I was out this morning. Oh, that's okay. He's okay, not sick. Oh, that's good. I'll message you later and arrange a day to pick up. Okay, no worries, Julie, all good. So yeah, so be mindful of where your fold is. And so we're going from that fold to the edge of the designer series paper, and just find your center and top to bottom. And I'm just using my eye, so I'm gauging that. Hopefully I'll get that in the middle-ish. If you want to be really particular about it, you can get a ruler out and measure it and everything, but I'm not being that particular. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to take one of the small ones and pop it in here. Now again, I just decorated up with a little bit of designer series paper, and I did put a little message in there, a little greeting, but I put that on a little label. This is just a little added, if you wanted to do another writing panel on there, you could just leave that blank and maybe just add a little bit of designer series paper. But I just added it as a little decorative section there. So we can pop that one in as well. Oh, my finger keeps sticking to that glue. It's nice and strong, this one. All right, and we're going to do the same thing again. So just work out where the middle is, line that up and pop that in. And you can have a look at where you've got the other label as well and kind of use that as a bit more of a gauge to get that height-wise centered. You've still got a little bit of a cough, have you, Danielle? Oh, that's no good. Hey, Helen, how you going? Oh, I already said hello to you. I thought you were saying hello just then. Oh, you slipped and sent the angry face. Oh, you nearly dropped your phone. Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm glad you didn't drop it. That's okay. I'll disregard your angry face. It's all good. All right, and then this panel here, we're going to pop this on the front fold, and we're going to pop that in the middle so that it's centered in between that one. Now, if you wanted to, you could add another one like this, another one this size to the front if you wanted a really large panel on the front, and you can actually line it up over this one too and just attach it to this fold here. But I decided to do a small one so it's sort of sitting inside this one here. But we only want to attach half of it on this side here. Now you can pop that up on dimensionals or you can sit that flat, but I'm going to be putting some decorative elements on top of this, which I will pop up on dimensionals. So I didn't want to add too many layers of dimensionals. So the best way to do that is to work out where you want to place it. So I want to see a little bit of that paper on the edge there. So work out roughly where the center is according to where this one is. I'm going to flip it over upside down. And now this will show me where to put my adhesive, because you don't want your adhesive going across that first folded piece. Okay, otherwise it's going to stick this piece down onto that second layer. And you don't want that. So I'm just going to hold that there. And I'm going to put a strip of glue down here, or adhesive I should say, and a strip down here. There we go. I'm going to flip that back over. Whoops. And line that back up again and pop that down. Now before I attach it too tightly, before I push it really tightly, I'm going to open up that flap and just make sure that I don't see any adhesive. Sorry, I feel like I'm working over that way a little bit. I want to make sure that I don't see any adhesive sticking out the side here, which I haven't, which is good. So now I can push that on nice and firmly. Okay, so now we've got all our panels in. As I said, you can add an extra panel there if you want to. But you kind of, if you have that flap closed at the front to see that piece there, you can see that like that. Okay, so it kind of looks like you've got the 3 panels there. Now, if you want to, you can adhere this flap down. So you can put adhesive there and attach that down like that if you want to. You can also turn this into a pocket card. So if you didn't have this piece here and you just had this one here, you can add adhesive at the sides here and at the sides behind this one and actually have that as a little pocket card. So you can make it like a little gift card holder. You can pop a little message card in there as well, and maybe a gift card in the front pocket. So depending on what you want to do with it. You can decorate the backs as well if you want to. I like to leave them just plain so you can see that beautiful designer series paper. So there's lots of different things that you can do with this one. All right, so that's the basis of our card, and now we need to do our stamping. So we'll pop that over to the side. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat because we are working with photopolymer stamp today, and I'm going to show you a little bit of a technique. How are we going for time? Oh, it's already 5 o'clock. Okay, so the inks that I'm using today are Pale Papaya, Calypso Coral, Pear Pizzazz, Versamark, and then I've got white embossing powder, and my heat tool is ready to go. And I've got a dauber as well to use with my Calypso Coral. Okay, so I will show you how to do that. what we're going to do with the dauber. All right, let's start off first of all with our Pale Papaya and our Calypso Coral, and I'm going to show you how to make these gorgeous peaches. So the stamps that we're using from the stamp set today are, we're using the large peach, the leaves that match that peach, and then I'm using Have a Peachy Day, and I might use the Hello and Friend as well. Okay, so they're the only ones that we're using. You've got some tiny little flowers here as well if you want to stamp some tiny little flowers. We've also got some, in the dies, you've got some tiny little flowers. You've got 3 sets. Hang on a minute, it's saying live video interrupted. Okay, sorry, I think I just might have paused there for a minute. Am I still live? It's saying live video interrupted. Am I still live? That is the question. Let me know if you can still see me and hear me. If you can, my internet is having a little bit of trouble. I might actually close down my laptop, as that could be draining it. It's an additional thing running in the background. Okay, can everybody hear me and see me okay? Sorry about that. I think my internet is having a little bit of a struggle. But I think we are back. I think we're all good. Give me some thumbs up if we are all good. Let me know in the comments. Just waiting to see. I'm waiting for my iPad to catch up with all the comments as well. Am I live or not? I'm not sure. Yes, all good. Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you, Glenda. Thank you, Helen. Okay. Oh, I thought I'd lost everybody. Thanks, Julie. Thought I'd lost everybody there for a moment. Sorry about that, guys. My internet seems to be having a bit of a struggle today. I'm back. Great. Thanks, Rose. As I was saying, in the dies, there's these cute little flowers, these little tiny flowers, and some that are slightly larger as well. So you can use those to embellish as well. You've also got all these cute little leaves you can use to embellish also. Hey, Amanda, how you going? Great to have you with us today. We are making a fun fold card. We're doing an accordion fold card today. So you lost me twice. Oh, I'm so sorry, Rose. Yes, my poor internet, it's having a struggle. My husband is actually working from home as well, but I've shut down my laptop now too, so at least that's one less device that's running. And Julie, yes, I was saying earlier that I'm showing everybody a card that we did make in one of our classes last year using this suite, and I'm highlighting this suite because it is retiring and it's really beautiful, and the stamps and the stamp set and the dies are actually on low inventory already today. Just as of yesterday they weren't, as of today they were. So I thought I'll highlight them today and show everyone one of the beautiful cards that we made in our class last year. All right, so there we go. So that's where we're up to. Okay, now I'm going to show you a little technique using your inks. So I'm opening up the Pale Papaya and the Calypso Coral, and we're going to make a multi-coloured peach. Because, you know, when you buy your peaches, they're never just one colour. They always have a little bit of a reddy tinge to them. And so we're going to try and duplicate that. So I have got some scraps. Now let me see, is that the right size? Yep, I've got some scraps here of cardstock, and I think I need 3 peaches for my card, so I'll probably need an extra scrap there too. So what we're going to do is we are going to, the first thing is these stamps from this set are distinctive, which means they've got the different shadings in them, the different opacities. Now, when you're working with distinctive stamps, you don't want your ink pads to be too inky. And I'm going to move over a little bit more so you can see my ink pads here. You don't want your ink pads to be too juicy or too inky, because what will happen is you'll lose the definition and the detail in your stamp. So what you can do, and I'm just going to grab a baby wipe out to have that ready. Hang on a sec, let me grab that. This is for cleanup. Okay, so I've got my baby wipe ready, or you can use an old cloth. What we're going to do is I am going to press this ink down into my ink pad. Now I've got a little dot on my ink pad here. Don't think that there's anything wrong with my ink pad. I actually did that by mistake because I had used a dauber with white ink, and I put that onto my Pale Papaya ink pad. Don't do that because I need to actually clean that up and add a bit more ink there to that corner. That was actually my own doing. So there's nothing wrong with my ink pad. That was me. So never fear. And I'm just going to stay away from that. I meant to fix it up before now and I forgot. All right, so what we're going to do is take a bone folder, or you can use a plastic spoon or an old gift card, and we are going to press that ink down into the ink pad. Now I'm just scraping the edge of my bone folder, and you'll probably see it's going a lighter color. Can you see that? That's because I'm pressing the ink down into the ink pad. Now the way that the stamps are stored, when you close the ink pad is actually stored upside down, which keeps the ink at the surface of the surface of the ink pad, the stamp pad. But for distinctive stamps, we want it pressed down a little bit further. We don't want it to be too inky. Okay, so that's why we just do a little bit of scraping. So to push that ink down, and then when we store it again, it'll bring that ink back up to the top because it'll be stored upside down again when you close the lid. All right, so we'll clean the bone folder. Oh, I actually used my good bone folder for that. Whoopsie. That was a mistake. I should have used my inky bone folder. Thankful this one is especially for this purpose. My other one, that's my good one. I better make sure I give that a really good clean. I don't want that one getting stained. Whoopsie, I'll put that one away. Out of harm's way. Okay, so let's now ink up our stamp. So we're just going to go tap, tap, tap. And then before we stamp this down onto our paper, we're going to take our dauber with a little bit of Calypso Coral and just check it on your paper to make sure it's not too heavy. And we're just going to do a little bit of tapping on one edge with our Calypso Coral. So then when we stamp that down, and I'm using my Stampin' Pierce mat underneath because I'm using photopolymer stamps, and this gives a bit of cushioning underneath your stamp so that you get a better impression. So then when I lift that stamp up, you can see I've now got a two-tone peach. Now every time you do it, it's going to look a little bit different because depending on how much ink you apply of the Calypso Coral and where exactly you apply it. Now when you're doing this, you need to clean your stamp in between each re-inking because you've got two colours on here now, and you don't want to take that darker colour of the Calypso Coral back into your Pale Papaya. So give that a clean, dry it off on your paper, and then repeat. Tap, tap, tap. Let's give a bit more of a tap. A little bit of Calypso Coral. Okay. Tap, tap, tap down the side there. And stamp. And you want to do that fairly quickly so that the ink doesn't dry on your stamp. There you go. Now you've got a bit of a lighter patch here on your peach, but that's actually built into the stamp. Okay, because it's sort of showing, because it's a distinctive stamp, it's like the light hitting that part of the peach and reflecting off your peach. Now where's my other little scrap? There we go. So we'll give this a clean again on our little Stampin' Chamois. Whoop, didn't get that all off, did I? Do that again. That's better. Okay, dry that off. Tap, tap, tap. Pick up some ink. So when you're inking up your stamps with your ink pad, always just tap, tap, tap. Never just press your stamp into your ink pad. Just do a tap, tap, tap on the surface. That'll give you a nice even coating and it won't press the ink too deep into your stamp. Oh, look at that one. That one came out beautiful and dark. Look at that. So there we go. So there we've got our three beautiful peaches. Okay, so let's give that one a clean. So that's a little technique for you. I also taught my ladies that technique in one of our technique classes as well when I had my technique club running. We're having a little break from technique club for a little while. We're doing a few different things at the moment, a few different types of classes, which have been, it's been lots of fun to try different things. All right, now with the leaves. Now you can do the same thing with the leaves if you want to, using two different color greens, but to just make it quick and easy, I'm just going to use the one color. I'm using Pear Pizzazz, and I'm just going to stamp 3 lots of those leaves. So let me just check that. Yep, good. So we want 1. Oh, I didn't scrape that one down, but I think we're okay. I might just scrape that one just a little bit as well, so that we don't lose that definition in the leaves. It looks okay, it might be a little bit juicy. Okay, so give that a clean on our baby wipe. Okay, let's do that again. Now I'm only using one color this time, so I don't need to, oh, that's better. So I don't need to clean this off in between each stamping. Oops, oh, took the paper with it. There we go. Beautiful. And we've got that, see that detailing? See how you've got those little bits? That's not a defect in the stamp. That's actually what it's meant to be like. That's just some little definition built into the distinctive stamp. Okay, so that's all our stamping done of our decorative elements. We will do our sentiments as well. Make sure that's clean. Yep, good. Alrighty, so I'll pop those to the side, and now we'll do our, oh, actually I might wait to do my sentiment because I'm not sure which color I'm going to do yet. I'll wait for that. We'll die cut these peaches and leaves out. So we'll bring in our mini. Feel free to ask me any questions if you've got any questions about anything that I'm talking about or that I'm showing you, or any of the techniques or anything. And if you have asked a question and I've missed it, I apologize. Feel free to ask again. Sometimes I miss them if they're going through too quickly and I can't catch them. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut these into individual pieces because, check how many do we have? Yeah, so with the peach dies and the leaf dies, we've only got single dies. And I don't want to run all of these through the machine at one time because my plates are a bit marked. And so those marks on my plates, because I've used them over and over and over, they can actually leave scratches and marks on your cardstock. And so I don't want them to damage my other pieces. So I'm going to do a peach and a leaf at a time. And I'll take my dies. So I'm taking the, whoops. So I'm taking the large peach die, and I'm taking the leaf die from down here as well. Okay. And we're going to pop those on. I'm going to add some washi tape just to hold those dies snugly around those stamped images so that they don't move. There we go. I need a little bit more washi. More washi. Who loves washi? Does anybody else love their washi? I actually don't craft with it now because Stampin' Up! Doesn't have any current washi, but I do use it for things like this. It's very handy. But I know a lot of people love crafting with their washi. I used to, when Stampin' Up! Has washi tape that's current, I do use it in my projects. But I only usually use current products when I'm crafting. There we go. All right, so then we're going to pop our other clear plate on the top and we'll run that through our die cutting machine. Now, the other thing is too, to let you know, the price of our mini is actually going up in the new catalogue. So if you don't already have one and you didn't get one in the sale when it was 20% off last month, that's very sad. But you can still save some money by getting it now before it goes up in the new catalogue. All right, so there we've got our peach and our leaves, or our leaves die cut. So we're going to continue that process with the other ones and die cut them all out. Should we always store our ink pads upside down? Well, when you store your ink pads, actually let me grab one and I'll show you. So when you have your ink pads rows, if you have the Stampin' Up! Logo face up, that's the correct way to store them. Because what happens is, if I open up my ink pad, I'll show you, because we open them up like a makeup compact and then we close them, and that's how we use them. But when we close that, that's the surface of the ink pad, but when we close it, it's actually flipping it upside down. So it's naturally storing it already upside down. So long as you've got the image showing at the front, you've got yours stored the correct way. and then that way the ink is always going to be at the surface of your ink pad ready to go. All right, because if it was stored up that way, then all the ink would seep down to the bottom of the ink pad. So for instance, so that's how the classic Stampin' pads work. But for instance, for the Memento and for the Versamark, because they are traditional type stamp pads, they store up that way. So what I actually do is I do flip that whole thing and I store these, because this one's the same with a traditional ink pad. And so if you store it up that way, all the ink is going to seep down to the bottom. So what I do is I actually store these ones upside down. Does that make sense? Yeah, so if you're using the classic Stampin' pads, that's okay. They are storing naturally up the correct way. But any other type of ink pads, yeah, store them upside down so that the ink is always at the surface of your ink pad ready to go. Hopefully that explains your question. Glenda asks, can you give the score measurements for the DSP again? Yes, I can. Hang on one sec. Let me get ready to run this one through and then I'll give you those score measurements again. I'll just line this up ready. So I've just got to look over to my instructions for that because I don't know them off the top of my head. Be good if I did, but I'm not that good. You'll have to change the other two. Yeah. Yeah, and then you might find that they're more functional for you. You might get a better stamped image with them. That way, Rose. There we go. All right. So I'll run these. I'll get them ready to run through. Okay, are you ready? Where's my instructions? All right, so the cardstock, the DSP for this card is 30.5 centimeters, which is 12 inches, by 14.25 centimeters. Then you're going to score it at 4.6, 12.6, and 20.6. Okay. So 4.6, 12.6, 20.6. Awesome. There you go. Yeah, Glenda said the new magnetic plates will be good. Yes, they will. Yes. So they're in the new annual catalogue. Stampin' Up said that they will be released soon, around about somewhere around, hopefully, the time that the new catalogue will be going live, depending on when they can get the inventory, obviously, because with all the shipping delays and things. That's the other thing too with the new catalogue. Just keep in mind it does go live to customers on the 3rd of May. Us demonstrators are lucky because we've already been able to order from the new catalogue some of the products, which is super exciting. So my order is coming, and when that comes I'll share that with you. But yes, because of supply issues with the global shipping crisis, just keep in mind as well that some of the products might not be available straight away when the catalogue goes live. Stampin' Up are doing their best to get all of the products to all of the countries in time for the catalogue, but they are expecting that there might be some delays on some of them. So never fear, they'll become available at some point, but we just might need to have a little bit of patience with some of them. So just be aware of that. Oh, the other thing too I meant to mention as well is that shipping prices have gone up. Stampin' Up has, here in the South Pacific, I'm not sure about in other countries, but here in the South Pacific, the shipping price has always been the same over the 15 years that they've been here in Australia, I believe. But they've, with the rising increases in everything around the world, they have had to put it up. So it will be going up by 1% or $1, depending on if you're ordering as part of a workshop or if you're just putting in an individual order. So if you're used to paying $5.95, it'll now be $6.95. Or if you're used to paying 5% in a workshop, it'll now be 6% of the total of your order. Okay, so just keep that in mind as well. I am going to post about that. I meant to do it before now and I completely forgot. The shipping cost actually went up on the 1st of April. And I completely forgot about it until I put my order in the other day. And I'm like, oh, that's right. That's going up already. I've got to let everybody know about that. The magnetic plates are not currently available. No, Tina Marie. No, not yet. Stampin' Up is going to let us know when they become available. They're hoping that they'll be available very soon. Now let me just see. Oh, I die cut the wrong leaf there. I don't think that matters. Actually, no, that one's all right. I'll use that one. I won't waste time doing another one. Yes, but hopefully the magnetic plates will be ready really soon after the new catalogue goes live, because they are in the new catalogue. But again, because of the global shipping crisis, we don't know if they'll be available right at the time when the catalogue goes live or shortly after. But they will be fantastic. Can't wait for that. All right, let me just clean up my desk from all these little bits. There we go, making a mess. Okay. Let's see, did I miss any other questions? Nope, all good. Alrighty. Okay, so we can start putting these together now. I'm going to use a little bit of my multi-purpose liquid glue to just attach my little stems here. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put my peaches on there first, I think. And then I'm going to attach my my stems, and I'll leave a little space down here for my sentiment as well. All right, so I'm going to pop these on with Stampin' Dimensionals to give them a little bit of a lift, and I'm going to use up some of my edge pieces. Who uses their edge pieces? Hopefully you all use your edge pieces. I've got 2 sheets of all offcuts here. Look at this. I've got 2 sheets of all my little bits and pieces, so I'm going to use some of these up because we don't want to waste them. We want to use them up. All right, so let's put some dimensionals. Now I've got to keep one for the inside, and the one on the inside I don't want dimensionals, so I'm going to pop him over to the side on his little lonesome, and these ones I'll put dimensionals on. Scissors, we'll need some paper snips, and I'll cut some of these edge pieces up, and we'll use them on the back of our peaches. We don't need too many because the peaches aren't that big really. They're a good size, but they're not, you know, they're not tiny, but they, yeah. So there we go. So I'm going to overlap them a little bit on the front. So I'll just take the backing off my dimensionals there. And we're going to pop them, I'm going to pop one up here, like so. We want that going off the edge a little bit. I just want to make sure that dimensional's not going to get in the way. There we go, one there. I'll take this, the backings off this one. I'm going to overlap them and have this one down a little bit like this. There we go. Now I'm going to glue on my peaches, my leaves, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue just on the stem and on that lower leaf, and I'm not going to put any glue on that upper leaf because I'm going to have that hanging off the edge a bit. Like so. We don't want any glue getting on that other layer. There we go. And just check where that glue is. Make sure that's not going over the edge. Okay, and on the other one, I'm going to flip that up the other way this time. So you can use these leaves up both ways, that way or that way. So this one, did you see Stampin' Up are bringing out masking paper? I thought that's pretty cool. Yes, I did actually. I look forward to getting some of that and trying it out. That will be so cool. We're giving away all the secrets now, Julie. But yeah, it looks really cool. It'll be interesting to see how it works, how differently it works to using like the traditional way we make our own masks with Post-it notes. I think it will be really great. All right, so there we go. So there we've got our little stalks on our peaches there. Okay, cool. And then we can do the one on the inside as well. Oh, actually, I was going to put a little strip of DSP on there, so I might decorate that one later, but I might stick on my leaves now. So just add a little bit of glue there and stick that on. Hang on, I don't want to do that directly onto my desk. I'm likely to glue it to the desk. There we go. I'll pop that one on there. There we go. Oh, might have that one down a little bit lower. There we go. Okay, so I've got that one ready for on the inside now. So I'll pop that one over to the side. Alrighty, so that's what we've got so far. Okay, So now we can go ahead and do the rest of our decorating. I'm going to bring in my sentiment stamp, which is Have a Peachy Day, which I think can be used for lots of different occasions. It can just be an anything card, like just sending a little message to somebody. You can also use it for occasions like birthdays or, you know, any special occasion really. Or you can just, yeah, I think it sort of goes with anything really. So we can use, I think that's what we're going to use. I think we're just going to stick with this and we'll just use our Pear Pizzazz. That's what it is. Sorry, it went blank for a moment. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of embossing now. I'll just move my card over to the side. I've got my scrap paper, which this is my one for my white. So every one of my powders, my embossing powders, has its own little papers because I don't want to mix my colors in my papers because I use this as a funnel to tip that excess powder back into my container, and I don't want to mix my colors. So this is just regular copy paper, and I use this as a catcher to catch my embossing powder. All right, so I've got that ready. I'm going to stamp with my Versamark ink. So I've got my Versamark ink. I'm going to stamp with that. So we'll do a little tap, 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 and I'm going to just stamp it here. Actually, let me work out which way does my punch go. So I'm working out which way my punch goes first so that I make sure I feed it in the correct way. Okay, so if I go that way and I stamp it down around about there. Stamp it down around about there. There we go. Have a peachy day. I've actually never heard anybody ever say that. Has anybody ever heard anybody say that? Have a peachy day. It sounds like it's from the 60s or the 70s or something. Like, yeah, like that kind of era. I've never actually heard anybody say that. But it sounds like a nice little happy, friendly greeting, doesn't it? All right, so there we go. So now we tip that back in. Now I use two pieces, one inside the other, because when I'm tipping it back in, I put my pot on that bottom piece so that if I'm tipping it and I accidentally have a whoopsie and I slip, that powder is still going to be caught on that second piece of paper. I've been using this little technique for my embossing powder ever since way back when I started, like 23 years ago, whatever it was, 22 years ago, I think. And it's the most cost-effective way, and I've been using these papers over and over and over for years. I don't change them because they don't get yucky or anything. All right, so I need to plug in my heat tool. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? Let me just disconnect my iPad and I'll plug in my heat tool. I've only got two plugs here. All right, I'm going to heat up my heat. It's a really old saying, is it, Glenda? Oh, there you go. I bet it's from the 60s or 70s, is it? Tina said, lol, pears and peaches, how fruity. Yes, very fruity. All right, so now we'll just bring in our heat tool. I've got this on heat setting number 2 for heat embossing, and we're just going to heat that embossing powder until it melts and becomes glossy. There we go. We don't want to overheat it because otherwise it becomes dull and flat. Now I've got a little bit of excess powder that I had on there, which I didn't brush off. Normally I have my little paintbrush and I brush off the excess granules before I heat that, but I forgot to because I was busy talking. But that's okay because we're going to punch that out anyway. So I'm just letting that cool for a minute before I punch that out to make sure that embossing powder is dry. Okay, and then we're going to take that into our punch, and I'm just using the plain edged oval today. Just line that up. Whoa, there we go. It jumped out at me. Okay, and there we have our little sentiment label. See, nice and easy, nice and quick and easy. All right. So I'm going to pop that onto the front, and again I'm going to pop that up onto dimensional. So let's use again some of our little edge pieces and use them up. We'll pop them down there like so. Might need a few extras this time because that one's only a narrow piece. Pop another one over here. And oh look, I've got this one here. This one might fit across the end. No, that's too big. Let's trim that one down and we'll pop that one here on the end. See, it looks really messy on the back to us, doesn't it? It's a bit like needlework and things like that, although good needlework craftsmen or craftswomen, craftspeople, the backs are almost as neat as the fronts. So when I used to do cross stitch, I used to try and always have the backs really, really neat when I learnt that that's what you should do. But yeah, the backs of this, doesn't matter if it's messy because nobody's going to see it. We're going to stick that down. So I'm just going to pop that down here. I'm going to have that going off the edge a little bit like that. Really cute. And then I am going to stamp. I'm going to pop this in here in a moment because I'm going to add some DSP, but I'm also going to stamp an extra little something for on the inside. Actually, I might come back to that because I might decide when we've done all the other bits and pieces on the inside what I want to stamp there and what colors I want to use. So I'm going to clean my It's a Peachy Day stamp. Okay. I'll bring in my ribbon and we'll tie our bow for the front. We'll finish off the front first and then we'll decorate the inside. So you get a bonus today. I'm actually doing the inside on my live. Normally I don't do the insides of my cards on my lives unless we're going really, really well for time, which usually mine aren't. Usually I'm going very late. So that's why I usually don't do the inside. I do it after I finish. So we'll tie our bow with our beautiful ribbon that, remember, is 40% off at the moment, and it's retiring, so it's not going to be around for too much longer. But look how beautiful that bow is. Ties such beautiful, beautiful bows. And we will trim our little tails. I was going to say our ends. Well, I guess they're ends, aren't they? Trim our little tails to our bow. There we go. So remember, all of these products, Amber has put all of the codes and the discounted prices in the comments. When I upload this video, I'll try to remember as well to pop them in the details of this as well, especially too because I'll be also putting this on YouTube, and people on YouTube won't be able to see our Facebook comments. So I'll make sure that I do put the details of these products in the details of this video, so make sure that you check that out. So I'm just popping a couple of glue dots on the back of my ribbon, which now they're stuck to my finger. I normally do that with my take your pick tool, but I use my fingers today. All right, and now we're going to pop our bow just down here near our sentiment. Oh, I'm covering up the word day. Hang on a sec, let's move that over a tad. There we go. Put it at a bit more of an angle so I don't cover up the word day. Or I can put it down a little bit lower than that too. Let's pop it down a little bit lower. There, that's better. That's better. Now we're not covering it up. I'll just put that at a little bit of an angle. If you don't like your bows at an angle, you can put it straight if you like. I do need to trim this end up though. This one's longer than the other one. I don't like having my ribbon ends different lengths. There we go. Beautiful. And then we can add our sequins for everything. These ones are so great. They are such a great price. So these are on special at the moment, 40% off. It's only $10.50. And as I said, you get 3,600 sequins in here. And let me get my take a pick tool out to pick them up. They go such a long way. So great for shaker cards, as I mentioned before, or great for just embellishing. Oh, there's a green one in there. That's in the wrong section. Naughty green one. Sometimes they like to jump into the other sections. There we go. I'm trying to pick up a silver one. But the silver ones are the most popular ones that I use actually. So my silver ones are getting low. There we go. We've got one. I want 3 of those. 2. Ah, thank you so much, Glenda. I'm glad that you like it. Did you get those dimensions okay? 3, there you go. So those dimensions are, as I was saying earlier, oh, that one's a bit marked. That one looks a bit dodgy. We won't use that one. Those measurements are ones that I made up from I changed it up from the American Imperial measurements. So I had to adapt it to our Australian card base size. Yeah, so, but that was not too hard to do. It's a really great card, really easy one to put together, this one, and just so effective. And when people receive this card, they think you're so clever because it just looks amazing with the fun fold. But it's so easy to make. So we look like we're really, really clever, but it's actually really easy. There we go. And we'll pop one more over here on this corner here. Yes, you got them? Great. No worries, Glenda. Glad you like it. All right, a sequin up there. There we go. So that's the front of our card done. So now, isn't that cool? Look how pretty that is. And remember, I've got some more to show you at the end as well. So stick with me. We'll just do some quick decorating on the inside, just with some designer series paper. So I'm going to grab out my other offcuts here. And this is a great way to use up some of your scraps. So I'm not going to use the same paper as the background. I want to use some coordinating paper. So I might even use some of this one, or let's see what else I've got. So I've got some strips of that one, which would be good. But what else have we got? Let's see. Oh, I've got some green. How about some green? Some green. Let's use some green. That would be nice. I've also got some blue, which I used on my other one. Although there's no other blue in this one. My other one had blue paper, so I might not use that. We've got some of this one with the little peaches. That's cute too. So yeah, so you can just use up your scraps. I've got, look at all these scraps I've got in here. There's another one with the little peaches. I think I'm going to go with the this one that I've got out. In fact, let's just do that, because that piece there is already cut as well. So it's probably even. Do we want this color? Or do we want to change it up and have a bit of extra green in there? Ooh, oh, we've got a lot of green already in the paper, haven't we? So how about we go with this one? I think that one. All right, so what I'm going to do, because when I've cut this paper, I can tell that I've cut it up that way. And what it does is the trimmer actually pushes down those edges just a little bit, and it gives you a bit of an edge sticking up there. So I'm just going to take my bone folder and just smooth those edges down, because that's the side I want to use. So I'm just going to smooth them down. There you go. And then I'm going to measure this between those. So you've got like some stitched lines here. I'm just going to measure that, put a little pencil mark there. And then for this one, I'm going to go across the bottom. So I'm just measuring from the other side, the other end, so then I can cut both of them. Let's put a little pencil mark there. And then I'm just going to cut that there and that there at those pencil marks. But I'll just quickly do that off camera rather than me bring in my whole trimmer, because then I have to move everything if I do that. So there's that strip. And there's our little strip. There we go. And then we're just going to glue them in. Really simple. So see, there's lots of different ways of using up all of your scraps. So when you're cutting your designer series paper and your cardstock too, don't throw away all those scraps that you get, because you can use them for other projects. And there's lots of different ways that you can use them up. But decorating the insides of your cards is one great way of using up all those scraps. There we go. So we've got that little one there, and we'll do this other one. Come on, glue. I opened up a new glue on the weekend too, because I made that beautiful infinity card that, oh, why is my glue not squeezing? There we go. And I used up so much glue making that infinity card because, well, actually I was at the end of my bottle of glue, my other bottle. But I put so many elements onto my infinity card when I was decorating it that I used it all up. So I was able to open up a new bottle. Isn't it always nice to open up a new bottle of glue, or a new packet of dimensionals, or I just love opening up new things. No more green. Oh, I just saw your comment, Rose. Yes, I agree. I agree, because there's so much green in that background paper, isn't there? Yeah, no, I like this one. I think this one goes really well. All right, so then I'm going to just add a little, oh, we can add our peach now to this one. So we'll put a bit of glue. We need to keep this one flat because it's going on the inside. So we don't want any dimension on the inside, otherwise your card won't close. So we're going to add our little peach on here, like so. There we go. Add a little bit of an angle there, like that. Then we're going to get some more of those silver sequins, the silver, what do you call them? Hexagons. What do we want? 1, 2, what did I have on my other one? I had 3 and 4, and then I had 1 on that side, 5. There we go. These last so long. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pop one up here. Being careful I don't squeeze my glue too quickly now. One over here. Okay, one up here. Oh, don't you ooze. Don't you ooze glue. Don't want any oozy glue because we don't want our each of our panels to stick on the other panels. And then one down here. Might have been a bit heavy-handed with my glue, I think. There we go. Oops, that one oozed. Just use the paper piercing end of your, take your pick tool if you get any oozy little bits to just scrape that away. There we go. All right, and then the last thing is to just, oh, I think I got out an extra sequin. That's okay. I'm going to add a little sentiment up here. So I'm going to stamp hello and friend, but I'm going to stamp them onto cardstock and then add them in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp them onto a little bit of Calypso Coral, I think. I do it on Calypso. Yes, because Pale Papaya, it won't stand out. I'll do it on these and then I'm going to die cut them out. Alrighty, so I'll just move this over. Bring back in my Versamark. And I'm going to stamp these on separate labels. So we'll do hello up there. And we'll do friend down here. I'm just doing them separately so that I can cut them out separately. I'll clean that in a moment because I want to do my embossing straight away while that ink is wet. The Versamark is good though, like it does stay wet for quite a while. So you've got plenty of time to work with it. You don't have to panic that it's going to dry too quickly because it will stay wet for quite a while. All right, now this time I'm going to get my paintbrush and do a tap, tap, tap on the back to get rid of any excess powder, and I'll just brush around my words very carefully because I don't want to brush the embossing powder off the words. There we go. All right, and then we'll just heat set that. Oops, we got to put our excess powder back in our container first. You always want to make sure, you've probably heard me say this 100 times, but I always say it, always return your leftover embossing powder back into your container before you even turn your heat tool on, because you don't want to accidentally melt the tub if the tub is open, or the container if it's open, or what's on your paper there. All right, so we'll heat this back up for a moment. Shouldn't need too long because it should still be a bit warm from before. And we'll just heat our embossing powder and melt that. So hopefully you can see that on camera. So that one's done. That one's done. Nice and easy because they're only little sentiments. Okay, good. We'll let that just cool down a tad. While that's cooling down, let's clean our stamps. Just let that cool a bit before we try and cut that out so that we don't put our fingers on that while it's hot. Now in the dies, there is this cute little die here, which is a little label die, but it's a little bit too long for, sorry, it's a little bit narrow for the word hello. It would fit the word friend, but it's very long for the word friend, but I like how it's bannered, so I'm going to make my own. I'm going to snip these, and this is always tricky for me because I don't always cut straight, so I'm just going to trim that down. So I'm going to cut my own, so let's hope for the best. Okay, so go across there and up here, just make a smaller piece. There we go. And then I'm going to cut along here. And then we'll do the same with the hello. We'll cut. Now the hello is a little bit taller. Now you can do this on your trimmer if you want to, if you're a bit worried about having it super straight. And then I'm going to banner the ends like that label. So that way and that way. There we go. So there's our hello. Now we need to make sure, oh, that one's a little bit too long. So let's trim that down a bit. There we go. And then let's do our friend in the same way. So go that way and then that way. Wait, that way, that way, that way. Yeah, gotta make sure I got the angles right. There we go. Oh, that one's a bit more of a sharper angle, so let's fix that up. There we go. So we've got hello and friend, our two little labels. Cool. Alrighty, so we get rid of all these extra little pieces. Look at me, I've got all my little bits going everywhere. Okay, we'll get rid of those. There's our little labels, so we can pop those inside our card. So we can say, hello, we can go over here, hello friend, like that. Hello friend, yeah, that'll be cute just there. So we'll stick that flat, or I could have done them on one, but then I didn't think they'd go really well on one because the hello is much bigger. Whoops, that way. Yeah, so I think they look good like that. And then I'm going to put a sequin on the other, or a couple of sequins on the other side. All right, so let's put a bit of glue on the back of these. So we'll say, hello, friend. If you wanted to just cut them straight, you could. I just wanted to banner the ends a little bit like the die that's in the set, because I really like that. Hello, friend. There we go. So that's pretty cute. And then let's add a couple of extra, stick that down properly. A couple of extra sequins. We'll pop them up here. One, let's do two. One and two. That one up a bit and that one down a bit. There we go. 1, 2, 3. If I add a fourth one, that'll be unbalanced, won't it? I was thinking we could add an extra one over here somewhere. No, because then they'd be in line. Nope, I'm just going to leave it like that. There we go. So there is our finished card. Let me just clean everything up here, move everything out of the way. Got a big mess happening. And we'll bring in the other card. And I've got two other samples to show you as well. So here was my original one. And here's the one we made today. So aren't they cute? Really, really easy card to make. But just changing up those few things makes it look so different, doesn't it? It makes it look like a completely different card. And so this one opens out like this. And this one opens out like that. So they look a little bit different on the inside, a bit hard to see. There we go. There and there. There. Cute, hey? Yeah, and then as I said, you can put an extra panel there if you want to, or you can let the designer series paper be the hero, and then you can write your little message in here as well. So there you go. Now, the funny thing is, as I said, I created this card in for a class last year. And we did 2 other projects as well. That was one of the projects that we did, but we did 2 others as well. But also as well, last weekend, not the weekend just gone, but the one before, I went to an all-day retreat. And at the retreat, guess what card they did? They did this one. Their measurements were a little bit different, but it was basically the same card. So this is the one that we did, and this is using the layering circle dies. Instead of using the rectangles, we used the layering circle dies. Same fold, but the measurements are different. And on theirs, they just had a panel. So this was one, I went to the retreat that Kylie Bertucci and Lisa Curcio, the #1 demonstrator in America, had. And those of you who don't know Kylie Bertucci, she's the #1 demonstrator here in Australia. And they did a event together, including Kylie's husband, Bruno, and Lisa's daughter, Gina. And this was Gina's card. So that's one. And I thought, oh, that's so funny. Like and that's the paper on the back. How cool is that? Yeah, I had already done one previously in a class, so I already knew how to make it, which was really good. But as I said, their measurements were different, so I went by their measurements, not by my measurements. And then this one as well, which was really beautiful. I love this one. This was Lisa's one, and this one opened up like that. Now they had an additional layer behind the designer series paper, which I didn't do on my one. So yeah, but how beautiful are they? Now the other thing is too, I have another card that we made with, this was one of Lisa's cards as well, that I made. I changed it up with the papers according to what she had done, but the fold, I can't give you all the measurements for this one because this is her tutorial, which the tutorial can still be purchased. If you get in contact with Kylie Bertucci, you can purchase the complete tutorial of the entire retreat. It was 8 hours, and you get the whole PDF of all of the projects, and these were just 3 of them, but there was a whole stack of, I think it was 8 different projects. But this one is using the same suite, so I wanted to show you this one. And so it opens like this, and then you open this. Isn't that cute? I love that fold. It's such a cool fold. Yeah, so I wanted to show you that one as well, because it's another way of using this suite. So there you go. So what do you think, everyone? Do you like those? Aren't they cool? Now remember, all right, I'll before I do that, I'm going to tip the camera up to my face to say goodbye, and I'll just tell you a couple of last minute things before we go. So bear with me and I'll get the camera ready. All right, here we go. So I'll readjust this. Oh, squeaky, squeaky. Sorry, just throwing my lights out of my way too, because my light was in my way. I couldn't adjust my camera. Kept hitting my arm on my light. There we go. Let's flip those cameras, and there we go. We're back around the right way. All right, adjust that one. And we've got some light on the subject. So we had daylight savings finish on Sunday as well. So it's actually really dark. Oh, not quite. It's getting really dark outside now already. Yeah, so I miss my daylight savings. I love daylight savings. I know not everybody does, but I love it. And I miss it when we don't have it. So let's get a photo with our card first, and then I will tell you the other things that I've got to share with you. I'll hold it like that so I can hold it at the right angle. There we go. So I hope you really like that. Super easy to put together. Zoop. Just like that. Isn't that fun? Now remember too, one thing I didn't say to you, I mentioned about us as demonstrators having accessibility to some of those new products. We have what is called a pre-order. So we get to choose from a selection of some of the new products as new demonstrators. Oh, sorry, as demonstrators. But what I was going to say is any new demonstrators who join during the pre-order period, which is running now until the 2nd of May, they can actually put any of those pre-order products into their starter kit as well. So if you would love to get a discount on all of your Stampin' Up! Products, you start at a 20% discount and you can build that up to 25%, then please have a chat with me about joining my beautiful team, or as I like to say, our creative community. It's only $169. You get to choose $235 worth of product to put in your starter kit, and that can be any products that you choose. It can be also some of the products that are retiring that are discounted, so you can get more for your money that way as well, which I love to help you maximize your value. So if you want to get more in your starter kit, now is a great time to join. So if you've got any questions or I can help you with that, please feel free to get in contact with me. If you go to my blog, there is also a joining link there. If you've already made the decision and you don't have any questions, you can go to my blog, or you can go to my website as well, and you can click on join, and that takes you through the joining process. It's really easy to do, but if you've got any questions, I'd love to answer them for you. Or if you're not sure if it's the right thing for you, then feel free to ask me any questions. There's no lock-in periods. If you decide after a little while that it's not for you, after giving it a go, it's not for you, no problem. You just go back to being a customer. It's really easy. There's no exit penalties. You don't have to officially resign or anything like that. You stop ordering as a demonstrator and you just go back to being a customer. It's super easy. But I can help you with all of that, answer any of your questions. So feel free to get in contact with me. And the last thing is, remember that these products that I used today from the Sweet as a Peach collection are only while supplies last, because they are retiring. The stamp set is discounted. The dies are not, but if you purchase them together with the discounted stamp set, if you purchase them, you will get them cheaper than if you purchase them as a bundle anyway. They're on low inventory already, so they won't be around for very long because they only went on low inventory today, which means there's not many left, so be quick. And the designer series paper is also retiring, and it's discounted as well, and the ribbon and the sequins. So feel free to go through to my online store, have a browse around, see what else is there. There's so many discounts, so many retiring products, and some of those retiring products have already all gone. So some of them are already all sold out and they won't be coming back. So they're gone for good. I've actually, you'll see, wait, let's go this way. See on my shelf over my shoulder, all those ones with the pink tabs on them, and the ones behind them, they're all my retiring stamp sets. Then I've got all my punches, all my dies. Haven't pulled out the ribbons and embellishments yet. We've got to do that too. And my embossing folders and my papers. And yeah, it's all going to be going. So grab yourself a bargain while you can, if you love the Stampin' Up! Products. Oh, hello, Robin. How are you? I just saw that you had jumped on. We are just finishing up, but feel free to go back and watch the replay. We made this beautiful fancy fold card today. It's an accordion fold card. It opens like this. Whoops, hang on. It opens like this, like an accordion. That's what we made today, and that's my original one as well. So there's both of them there. So feel free to go back and watch the replay. So I hope you all have a fantastic week. Tina said, same fold, so many varieties. Yes, you can use any of your papers, any of your stamp sets, any of your embellishments. Just remember, for the inside ones, you have to keep your embellishing flat because you want your card to be able to fold flat, but you can add heaps of dimension on the front. So yeah, you can add ribbon. You might even like to wrap ribbon around that panel, that front panel. You might like to wrap ribbon around there. So many things you can do. It's a beautiful, I love this fun fold card. It's a really great one. All right, well, have a great week, everyone. I will let you all go. It is dinner time. Well, dinner time for some, not yet for us. It's too early for us. We eat late. But I hope you have a really great week. And I look forward to seeing you next week. I might have some new things to show you next week. Fingers crossed my new products on the pre-order come this week. And depending on shipping. And I'll have some new things to show you next week. Perhaps. Let's keep our fingers crossed. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great week. And as I always say, happy crafting. Bye.